All right, everyone. I'm excited to have you join us here for part three of the Build Your Course um, live stream. We're very excited. In part one and two, you worked with Nuno to actually build out all the course and the functionality, learning about the functionality, how everything ties itself together, all the automations, uh, all the further details on how to make it work. And in this tutorial, what we'll be doing is we're going to be going over the design, very important part, because it's not just, the way it works, which is obviously very important. It's the mechanics of the whole thing, but actually doing the design and the look and feel. And that's a big part of the selling proposition. So what we're going to do today is we're going to build out a very simple funnel. It's going to be a funnel, a video sales page funnel. From that video sales page funnel, we'll be going to an order form. From that order form, we're going to go to a very simple confirmation page. And we're going to design that funnel live here in the workshop. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the course area and actually flesh out the look and the feel of the course area. So the first thing that I like to do before I get started building is I actually like to prep myself. So what I've created inside of good old fashioned Canva is my prep documents, and I'm going to go over them with you very, very quickly. So in here, we have our thumbnails. And in the thumbnails, we've got a couple of different things here. We've got our main thumbnail. This is the course thumbnail. This is the main image of the course. From here, we've got our actually, this is part three. This will be used for part one and two. And I just made one with our wonderful assistant, Mary, here also, so that we could have three different images here. And from this, which I, by the way, created in Canva based on this one right here. So basically what I did to create these thumbnails is you just add a page and you choose any design that you like, and then you move it around and turn it into something a little cooler, a little deeper, a little bit more of your meaning. So this is all just starter. So as you can see, I moved over the slanted, I threw in this hat, I put our picture on the left instead of the right. I got rid of this live stream. Actually, I probably should have kept that one, considering that this is live stream. And then I changed the size of the words to make it more of my own. But I started with a basic template. And as you can see in Canva, there's tons and tons of different templates, which is a great way to get started so that there's no fear. What will I design? How will I build it? Honestly, I've been doing this for close to 25 years now. And when I'm working with images, I'm always grabbing inspiration from other places. And if you ever want justification for doing something like that, as I've mentioned to many of our students, a great book is Steal Like an Artist. It will actually make you feel better about taking somebody else's template and then making it your own. But I digress. So from here, I also gleaned our colors. So the other part of that is our color palette. And I like to prep this before I start building. The reason I like to prep it is I don't want to be searching for it or trying to figure out what the hex codes are. Now, a hex code, which is right here, is the actual code used in HTML for that color to come out. So what we do in order to get those codes, we either work in Canva by clicking on the shape, and then we click on the actual color, and then we can see that color wherever it may be. So if I click on this, and as you can see, I have these two little lines. That means it's the one that I want. And it tells me right there what the actual hex code is. But if I'm pulling it from something else and and I'm not working in Canva, I will often use this little eyedropper tool, which is called Colorzilla, which is a Chrome extension, if I'm ever trying to get a color. But you want to make sure that you have these colors ready to go so that when you're building, you're not searching all around and trying to figure it out. So that's our colors. And the last bit of this that I created as a pre-made asset is a hero banner. And the hero banner was actually easier to create than you would have thought of. Our hero banners, which I'll be using on the course later, and I'll go a little deeper in there, is I created a custom size and I used one of the thumbnails, and I'll show you how I do that to create my hero banner a little later on when we're actually doing the course. All right, so let's get started inside of the funnel builder. Here we go. Oop. Hold on a moment. There we go. Okay, so this is the funnel builder inside of Go Highlevel. The way we got to it is we clicked on sites, and it's the first funnels. Oftentimes people get confused between funnels and websites. We are building out a funnel. A funnel is a linear path sales process, as opposed to a website, which, as I'm sure you've seen a million times, has the menu across with the logo, and you can kind of go everywhere. This is a very specific track that we're going to be going on for people to purchase something. So what we do is we go into the course area here. This is the one that Nuno had been working on before. And I've, to be upfront with you, because of time, I've decided to kind of update it and get it prepped before the meeting today. So it looks a little different than what you saw in our first two videos. So in this one, what we do is we go to the funnel steps, and we're going to choose the first funnel step. And this is our sales page. And in this sales page, I've got a couple things here that are standard on most of my video sales page funnels. I've got attention of who it's going to be, in this case, course creators. I've got a large headline. I've got a sub headline. I've got a video. I've got a button so the person can actually purchase it. And then I have my footer. Very simple. This is your most basic of funnel pages. All right. And actually, I'm going to let people in also. So if you see me clicking back and forth, it's because I'm letting people in so that they can see the actual event. So this is a very basic funnel. The way I created this top one here is I just hit the plus section area. I drag the section in. I then add a row which will have a column 1 to 6. And there I go. And then I added a paragraph element and changed the name to Attention Course Creators. And then I gave a background color. Now you may be thinking to yourself, wow, that is awful large up there. And it is on purpose because I want to show you how we can edit it. So we're going to make this very, very plain funnel start looking really, really good. So the way that we would do that is we would choose this first section. And I am going to, and I changed it to this color so you could see the differences of where it is. I am going to start manipulating the padding to make it tighter, and then I'm going to colorize it and make it look really cool. So I'm going to change this to 2 because I like to leave a little bit of padding. I don't want to just zero it out. And that's going to be on the top and the bottom. And then I want to do it on the row. And with the row, I'm also going to add a 2. All right. Now we have to do this with every element that's in there. So that means the section, the row, which is blue, the column, as you can see here. And for the column, I'm actually going to zero that one out. And then our image, or excuse me, our element. And on our element, we have, it's already zeroed out. So you can see how it's thinner, and it's just a little top thing to make it look a little cooler. Now, what I'm going to then do is I'm going to bold the words. I'm going to go here to advanced, and I actually am going to make this all capitals. So I'm going to do it in uppercase. And then I'm going to go to general, and I personally do not like 14 point font. It's very hard to read, and you don't know who your audience is going to be. So I generally like to have at minimum 16. Now, this still looks kind of boring, but what we're going to do is we're going to go into Canva. I'm going to drag my color palette in here, and I am going to use this color in order to have the bar be that color blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that hex code. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make sure I've chosen my section. I'll click on the color, and I'm going to click this didn't find your color, add a custom one. I'm going to click that. I'm going to paste the color here. This is just the name. But then this is the part that really matters is the actual color. And I'm going to add that color. And as you can see, my whole bar changed color. So after I do that, I'm going to then turn these words to white. So there's color, and this is the basic color without a bold. But since I have a bold, I'm going to make it white. That way it's really going to pop. And white is already pre-programmed in there. So we know that this is a quick banner, and we know that this is a very effective thing that we put at the very top because we want to draw attention to who we're trying to get to buy this program. So here we need to create a headline. Now, we are not content writers. We'll never admit to be content writers. We also, we know some very good content writers that have given us a lot of tips. And we also have our, in Funnel Bricks and so forth, our bots that can help you create these words. And we will be having a course one coming out in the near future. In the meantime, I'm going to use kind of like a standard basic headline. And in this headline, I'm going to put something to the effect of how to create a course in 3 hours, even if you've never built a course before, even if you've never built an online course before. Now, why am I using this line? Okay, how to get the thing that I want, which is to create a course, in a time frame, even having my first doubt. That's a very standard way of doing a headline. How to get the thing that I want without doing the thing that I hate, okay? Or how to get the thing that I want even if I don't have experience in a time frame. This is a very, very standard way of doing a headline. So, and then I'll put a subheadline, watch this video below to learn my method of creating a your first course. And that might be a little misleading because it says watch the video to learn my method, because they're not going to be learning. It's more of a sales page, but it's watch this video to see how I, actually, that's probably better, to see how I create a course. Okay, or something like that. Again, not a writer, never claimed to be, but the reason I'm doing that is I want something, a little bit of filler in there, but we're still going to play with this. We still got a little ways to go with this page. So now we are going to actually change the fonts here. Now, if I go back into Canva, and actually I'm going to go into the folder area that I have in here, you'll see that I have my thumbnail. Ooh. You'll see that I have my thumbnail. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my thumbnail, and I'm actually going to see what this font is, League Spartan. So I want to use that throughout. In order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this little T here, which is the typography, which is going to allow me to configure exactly what my headline font is. So I'm going to go in here because I want to match my thumbnail. I'm going to put in League Spartan, which is right there. And that's going to give that to me. Okay. Now this kind of looks a little weird to me. And also, you know what? I want to make this one Open Sans because that's my normal words. That looks a little weird for me. I think that this would be better served being in all caps. In order to do that, what I do is I go to Advanced and I go into see where this text transformation is. I'm going to do uppercase for the whole thing. Now that looks a lot better. Now, after I've done that, I'm going to keep adjusting this until I get it right. I'm going to go on the row here because I want to make this smaller. And I also want to make the video smaller. Why do I want to do that? Because I want to be able to add maybe a little paragraph or something underneath. But for now, I just feel like this is just too overwhelming, too big. So I'm going to take this width and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, which at the same time is going to change the dimension of the title right here. And actually, I'm going to change this font to not use my headline font. I'm going to have it use my content font. And as you can see, we already have a little bit of a sales page going on. And if I scroll down here, I am then also going to change this image here. I'm going to update this color, and I'm going to add one of my other color palettes. I'm going to use this lighter blue right under here. So I'm just going to copy that. I've already prepped this before, as I said before. And I'm going to prep this color. I'm going to add it again like this. I'm going to paste in the hex code, and I get my color. And now I'm going to add an image of my logo. I've already preloaded in my logo right here. As you can see, I put that in there. Now, this is way too big, so I'm going to just make it smaller. And the way that I make it smaller is I just put in an actual numerical value. And, normally I would have an image that is transparent. So I am not in actual love with this image. So I'm going to show you how to create one inside of your Canva. So what we do is we go back into Canva. I'm going to create a new image. I'm going to design that. I'm going to create the new design, and I'm going to create new, and I'm going to do a custom size. And I'm going to do 400 by 100. That should give me the size of my logo. Now, I know that because I've done this kind of work a lot, but I kind of just want to go with a square there. And if I go to the images that I've already uploaded, and I type in logo here, as you can see, I work on a lot of stuff. I'll see all my different logos. And I'm just going to grab one of my logos. Actually, I'm not seeing my Rapid Active logo. So let me, my Automated Marketer logo, which I know that I have. Oop. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go into our library. And I'm going to just find my logo where I've used it before and just grab it. Okay. And if I go down in here, we're always producing postcards or any number of things in order to make it work right. So I'm actually going to steal it from, there we go, from one of my other projects. So as you can see, I've used this white logo in another project. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go into my new untitled document. I'm going to call this Automated Auto Marketer White, because this is going to be my white logo. And I'm going to just paste it in there. And you're probably saying to yourself, but I can't see the logo because it has a white background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to black. I don't necessarily have to do that. I'm only doing it because I want to be able to see it as I'm explaining it to you. Now, I can already see that this image is about half the size of that. So I'm going to edit the whole image by going to resize, custom size. I'm going to click the check. I'm going to unclick the check mark, excuse me. I'm going to change this to 50 because I know that's going to give me the correct size. If I click this, there we go. I will hit continue. And I will then resize the document, resize this design. And then I will take it and I will expand it to take up the whole area. And this is pretty good right there. And I'll put it right here in the center. Now, the reason I've done this is I just want the white part. So how do I get just the white part? I'm going to click share, download, and then use transparent background. That way I don't get the black, and make sure it's a PNG. Now, by doing that and downloading it, and it's, as you can see, it's downloaded into my folders. I go back in here and I'm going to now change this image by clicking here. I'm going to click new upload. I'm going to go into my downloads folder. I'm going to choose that image and I know it's right there. So I click it. And as you can see, the transparent image is there. I actually think the darker blue would go better with this bottom. So I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose this and I'm going to choose a different color. And that really starts to pop now. Now we've got something going on here. And we want to change this text, the copyright text, also to white. All right. And you know what? I think that needs to be bolded also. So that means I got to go to this bold. I got to change that to white. And this is absolutely gigantic, but it's fine for footer. We would put any other information on here, caveats, anything like that. And in here, I'm going to actually make this gray, which is also on my color palette. So if I go to my color palette again, I'm going to grab the gray that I chose. I'm going to choose that background. I'm going to add this color. I'm going to add that color. And as you can see, we've really got something cool coming in here. Whoop. Hold on a second. I'm just going to save it right here. All right. And then, you know what? Another thing that we could do to make it a little cooler is we could we want to make some of these words pop. In order to make, I'm going to say create a course in 3 hours right here. So I want to make that pop. In order to make it pop, I'm actually going to underline it. Now with the underline, I can choose to have a different color. So I'm going to choose another color. I'm going to choose this underline and I'm going to choose the lighter blue. And that's going to really make it stand out against the other words. So that way, when a person's looking at this, they kind of see an extra headline within the headline, how to create a course in 3 hours, even if you've never built an online course before. It's a little trick that we do. So as you can see, now we have a real designed sales, simple video sales page. Last thing is we're going to click on our button over here. Now, what's really cool in these buttons, we can have a little animation to make it bounce or anything like that. We're not going to do that in this case, but we are going to change the color of this. We're going to choose a color. I'm going to use that lighter blue. I'm going to make it so that it's a bolder weight. And I think I want to change the words to ready to get started. And I'm going to do all caps for that. Ready to get started. Ready to get started. And an exclamation point. All right. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to put in an icon afterwards. Right here, icon after. I'm going to put in an arrow. So I go into search icons and I put arrow like this, add that arrow. And as you can see, it really looks like a button there. All right, save. So now what we've done is we've created our simple sales page. From this link, if it is chosen correctly, right now it goes to open pop-up. We actually want it, you can't see it, but we're going to choose next step. Now that we've saved that, we're going to go to our sales page, our order page, pardon me. We go to the order page. And I've already, as before, pre-built this page, but now I'm going to stylize it like I did the other one. So yes, I want the course. I kind of already added some information in there. So this is fine, standard. Again, you would want to have better copy than this, but I've just put this in here. And in here, you're going to go over, there's a couple parts that are important. We would usually choose an image here of the course, and it would be images of computers and all the different parts of the course. And I believe I have one of those images. I might not, but I'll just show you really quickly the kind of image that we're talking about. I'll use it as an example by going into Canva again, because I've built many of these. All right. So this is kind of like a templated version. So I'm actually going to use the template version, but I would put images in here of the course. Actually, you know what? I think I can do that. I'm going to actually do that for you right now. I'm going to just drop one in here so you can see exactly what I mean. So I'm going to go to thumbnail. I'm going to download just the first one. In order to download just the first one, I click share and then download, and I choose the page that I want. I'm going to choose the first page, click done, and I'll click download. From there, I'm going to go into this, and I'm just going to drop that new image that I have in there right inside the document. Now that's not exactly where I wanted it, right? So I'm going to delete it, and then I'm actually going to drop it into the frame right there. So this is a little bit of an idea of how you can do that. I would put more images, anything that we would add in here, and create one of these. And then I'll click share. I'll click download, and I'm going to download the PNG, but again, I'm going to do the transparent background. So I'm going to click download, and that's going to give me the image that I'm going to add as all my computer screens. That's going to give me a mock-up of the way it's going to look. So I'm going to click new upload, upload the file, and there we have our image of the way the course looks. Now, this is really dark. This is really dark and black. So we want to, again, use our color palette. So we're going to go to our colors. We got to add those colors again. So I'm going to click didn't find, go to my color palette, grab my dark blue, paste it, and paste it again. All right, I'm going to use that gray as a little bit of a background enhancing there. So I'll copy that. So I'm going to add, I'm going to click in this area. I'm going to, didn't find what you were looking for. I'm going to paste, add the color. All right. And we already have that bright blue chosen right over here for the button. And then I would fill out my part 1, part 2, part 3 images. But this is the basic standard page for a course. We have what it is. We would have the name of the course here. So yes, I want the create a course workshop. Whatever I'm charging for it, I would put in the value that I've figured out for that. I would put in any bonuses that I would have based on what I talked about in the video. I'm just using these amounts as an example. This is, you want to have what it actually would cost. You don't want to have some high flying number that, they're basically cracking down on that kind of thing. So you don't want to have that as much. You want to have what the real value is for this piece, what you're actually selling it for. And this is your kind of your basic layout of having what's called a stack, showing all the different parts of your course. So we've colorized it, we've given that a look, and then we're going to hit save on that one too. And then on the next page is, of course, an OTO page, and we're going to make this one look a little bit better also. So we're going to add those colors again. I'm going to do the whole background for the whole page on this one. Grab my color. All right, I'm going to add this color right over here. Oh, I want to put a pound sign in front of it. And as explained in the former videos, if this button is clicked, the $397 offer, that is whatever is in that video, is going to appear. I'm going to change this to white. And I'm going to change this one to white also. And I would change the button to the new color that I want to add in the color palette. And then I want to put a link here that basically says, no, I don't want your discounted coaching. Now, I am going to put that as blue on blue because that's not the real action that I want them to take. Obviously, I would rather that they do buy the course, but we're going to leave this as is. So we just go down to the button area. We change the color of those words to the blue on blue. And that's going to give us our button for no, I don't want it. And this should go to just the next step where this one is actually doing the purchase. All right. So we're going to save that one last. And then over here, we're going to go to our confirmation page. And the confirmation page, we would do just the same. I want to make, it's basically the same function we just did on the OTO. I'm not going to go that deep on this confirmation page because I need to get into the course, because the course is going to take the rest of our time. So you would basically do the same thing on this page. All right, so the next part of what we're going to do now that we've designed the look and the feel and the funnel is that we want to go into the client portal. We want to go into the membership area and make sure that we've designed that correctly. We go into memberships, we go to course, we go to products, and in here, the first thing that we're going to do is we need an image, which as you can see, I've already created a thumbnail for this course. So I'm going to click edit details by going to the three dots. And I'm going to upload this image, and the dimensions are right here, easy for you to find. So I'm going to select the image and I'm going to upload the file. I choose the file and I choose that first thumbnail, and there we go, and click upload. And that gives me my image. I'm going to save that. Now, a couple other little things we want to do in here. So we want to go to advanced. This is where we would have our tracking code. This is where we have any custom CSS or custom JavaScript. That's where that would be. And then the customization is where we put in the other information. So we would put in our instructor name, and then we would also put in our headshot. And I'm going to upload a headshot file by going to if I go to my desktop. I know that I have an image of both Nuno and I. All right. Okay. I just so you know, one of the people is asking if I built this from scratch. Yes, I'm building this from scratch. So so now I have this, and then I have this picture of Nuno and me because we are the instructors, and that's going to be my instructor image. And I can put in our names, Nuno and Andy. And I could put in our titles and our bios if I chose to. And then I want to put in the logo image of the course section. And I already have that. I'm going to upload that file right here. Let me go to my downloads because I've already pre-loaded this to make it easier. Oh, excuse me. I thought I did. Hold on just a moment. Okay. If I go and I'm going to put in my cog logo. All right. Hold on just one second, folks, as I put in my cog. And that's the cog that I use as a standard logo for all my work for Automated Marketer. And I also want to use the same one for my favicon. Click upload. I choose file, cog. All right. And actually, with this one, I use my right there. And that image, again, will be the same image that I use for my favicon. And that's going to be the pre-prep for the actual course. I click save, and that is ready to go. All right. So now that I go to products, now I want to actually design the look and the feel of the actual course. Because if I click on this and I click preview, it's very plain right now. And we don't want to have that. But a couple things have changed here that I don't know if you saw. The cog is now the logo in the top left-hand corner. Nuno and myself are in here. I probably want more of a square image. I used a bit of a rectangle image. That's why it's a little stretched out. And then we have our different lessons and so forth in here. And if I click on it, you're going to see that I have this area here where all the lessons would be. And this is where all that lesson information is. But now we want to design this and kind of make it our own with our images, with our colors. How do we do that? All right. So we go over and we go, again, we went from products. I clicked on the product and I go to customization. And I prefer to use the classic. The New York and the new ones are okay, but they don't usually fit my needs. So I always go with the classic. I click on customize. And this is the default way that the funnel looks. It's completely undefined, very, very simple. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the theme settings. So I want to put my primary color and my secondary color in there. Now, if you remember, this is my primary and this is my secondary. So I'm going to put in the primary color. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to primary color. I'm going to paste. And then secondary color over here. Copy this. And I'm going to paste. And then for my background, I want to use that gray. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to choose my gray. And I'm going to paste that in there, which is actually the same, happens to be, in this case, the same. Now, you may say, but nothing's changing on the right-hand side, Andy. That's because I need to first click Save Changes. And when I save the changes, it may not be as apparent in here, but some things have changed. If you look at the logo here, that's changed over here. We're going to fix that in just a minute. But my primary colors have changed throughout, and that affects all different areas. Like this was originally black, but now is my primary color. So we've updated that. So now I want to change some of these specific sections. In the sections, we have our header. Our header is this area right here. Now, right now I have it in white. I'm going to make it gray. So I click it, click on the dropdown, I hit a paste, and I hit OK. And again, I hit Save Changes to see it. Give it a moment, and as you can see, the whole thing is gray. Now I want to change this banner right over here. The way that I do that is I go into Hero. Now, I think I showed you before that I have my banner already pre-built inside of Canva. So I'm going to go to my Hero banner. And the way I created this Hero banner is really, really cool. Very, very simple to make. So I took my thumbnail, which was already created through Canva. I'm going to clone it by going make a copy. Okay, see how I have copy of thumbnail? I'm going to delete these extra pages. And I know that in here, I need this to be 1600 by 350. So I go over here and I click resize. I go to custom size. I type in 1600 by 350. I hit my check mark. Hit my check mark. There we go. Uncheck this one. I don't want that one. I want it right here. Oh, it's the same choice. I already had a pre-programmed in there. And I hit continue. And then I'm going to click on resize this design. And as you can see, my banner has been created. All I got to do is delete these words. And my banner's there. Ready to rock, ready to roll. And I am ready to use it. I've already created it over here. I kind of adjusted it, as you can see. So I'm going to click share, download, and I'm going to download the PNG for this. This time I don't need to use transparent background because I want the whole thing. All right, so I go back to my members area and I choose this background. I click choose file, grab my hero banner, and it's going to upload. And as you can see, it's right there, but it hasn't changed here again. So if I click save change, there it is. But now we have dark blue on blue. Kind of hard to read, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to go over here. We're going to go to the title, and we're going to change the title to white. And if we had a description, we would make that white also. Oh, that didn't carry. So I'm again, turn it to white. Make sure you hit OK. For the button background, I don't mind the dark blue, but I want to make sure that the color is white so we can see the button. Hit OK. And then hit save change. And as you can see, I now have a look and feel for that banner. Now, we can also affect the lesson progress, which is right here if we want to do a different color in there. We can also do the course body if we want to do different colors here. And in the instructor area, we can also do other stuff here. And that's very simple. Right in there, it has our primary and our secondary colors already set up, but we can, of course, change that. All right, so that's that. That is the product area. But now just because you've done the product area doesn't mean that you're done. You got to click on the lesson, because the lesson is its own area, and it has to have its own coloring. So we give this a second to load. You'll see that this is kind of dark still, and it doesn't exactly fit what we're doing. So with the header, I want to use that background color again. So I'm going to grab my color palette, grab that number, copy, click on the drop down. I'm going to paste, hit OK. Okay, save changes. Lesson body is fine. I don't need to change that. You see how I have the color up there? But the course navigation, I always like to play with. And I always want to make it give that primary and secondary color. So my background, I'm going to give the primary color. See why I like to keep that on hand? Because I'm always having to go back and forth trying to make sure I have the color. So I always want to make sure the colors are right there ready for me to go, because there is no way to have standardized, unfortunately, there's no ways at this moment to have standardized colors inside of the course builder. Okay, so I use the primary one and I want to use my highlight color over here. The highlight is like when it's like that. So I just click on here and I'm going to grab that highlight color, copy, paste, hit OK, hit save changes, and voila, my colors are now throughout. And that would work throughout the whole system. Now, you are not done yet, because even though I've done that, it still looks like that. Nothing's changed. The reason nothing has changed is because I need to apply the theme and save the theme. And then I like to hit, now if I do it, it should work almost immediately. There we go. And as you can see, the look and the feel has completely changed. And if I click start course, my look and feel of my course is done. But the one thing we still have to do is we need to back out of this and we need to work on basically our area to log in, right? Because if we look at our area to log in, now that is gone by going to sites, client portal, and going to the dashboard. From the dashboard, you go to settings. In settings, after you set up your domain, which is what you do right over here, we're not doing that in this tutorial, but it is available. Actually, it looks like we're already at Portal Automated Marketer Live. If I click on that and click on the preview, see what that exactly looks like. You know what? That's going to be blank for now because I'm logged into GHL. But if I do an incognito window, it should, yep, it does work. So I'm going to stop sharing for a minute and then I'll share. As you can see, it just says my portal. Not a lot going on over here. So we're going to fix that right now. So the way to fix that, I'm going to get out of this, is we go back to settings and we go to branding. From branding, we can put in our information. So we would put something like, for the portal name, Automated Marketer Membership. Make sure I capitalize my M. Oh, you know what? I hit the 20 mark. So let's just call it membership area or just membership. Membership. And I'll put portal. And the description. I'm just going to use some lorem ipsum right there, but this is where you would put in your paragraph of information. So I'll just drop in some lorem ipsum text right over here. And then I want to use my branding colors yet again. So I click on this, I go over here, I grab this, and I'm going to paste this right there. Okay. And then I'm going to do the other highlight color. Paste that right here. All right. And so now I have my colors. I'm going to enter in my favicon. Okay. So AMCOG. Whoop. I should have had that image prepped and ready. There we go. So I put in the cog again. Now, for portal image and banner image, I don't like to do that sometimes because that kind of changes all the look and the feel. What I do want to do is have my logo, and it needs to be a 1:1 ratio. So I'm going to use that cog yet again. You can see a theme going on here. All right. And then I would put in my copyright information, 2024 automated marketer. Okay. And if I wanted to, I could put in a support email, and I'm going to click save. Now, one other little part of this, if you want to, you can get really funky with it. And of course, do your CSS header codes, footer codes, and custom. But right now, we're not going to do that. And if I go to this area right here, my incognito window, if I click, I got to hold down my shift key. Now, this is really important. If I just hit refresh, sometimes it doesn't work. See, nothing happened. But if I press on my shift key, what it does is called a hard reset. And then it'll show me my membership portal. Now, if I used the image, I could change the whole background of this area. I could change, if I use CSS, the fonts and so forth. But as you can see, I have my secondary color. My primary color is a button. So I've added a little something to my login area. You probably want a larger image here, not just the logo. You probably do want a big image. Actually, I think if I go like this, I'm going to stop sharing. I'll share on here again. Let's see if I can do see, we had let's see what happens when we do the banner, since I already have the banner. And then I'm going to, the aspect ratio is not 16.9. It actually tells me that I'm wrong. So I actually have to give it the right aspect ratio. So if I use I might be able to get away with using the thumbnail on that one. Yep, I did. And if I hit save again, that one, you know what, that image actually doesn't really affect that portion because that's the internal banner image. So for the portal image, try to use the hero banner again. No, that's not going to work. So all in all, the most important thing that you have to realize is that you do have to use the sizes that they recommend in here in order to make that work right. So we're going to just have to continue to go with the standard size that we had for the look and feel for this. When we have that portal image, I'm actually going to show you where that portal image showed up. So if I get out of that and I go over here, that portal image, if I go to the preview and I click on the home, that portal image, when done correctly, should be right in the background over here. So as you can see, there's a lot of different parts of the courses area that we can configure. And that is basically our tutorial on how to change the look and feel of your course and how to create the funnel, the look and the feel, how you want to do the colors, how you want to kind of do the design. Again, this was our course area and our lesson area. And then over here on the sites, by going to the funnel, we had our course funnel. And in the course funnel, we had our main sales page. We had our order page. We had our OTO page. And then we would have our thank you page, but we didn't do that in the essence of time. So I've gotten some comments of beautiful. Sometimes Canva can make my system go a little slower, but everything did in the end work at a pretty even pace. Is there any questions? Does anybody have any questions? I see we only have one person here live. So does anyone have any questions for me? All right, since we don't have any questions, this concludes uh, doing the look in the field. If you have any further questions, please ask us in the comments inside of the VIP area or on our page or in the comments. We only take our questions from the VIPs, but speak about this. I hope you enjoyed the workshop, and we'll see you in the next one.